I'm archiving every distortion. My name is Ibrahim Traoré, and today, I'm tearing off your masks. Yes, you heard me right. The man you label a young military leader, a radical, a threat to your order, a dictator, I stand before you as truth itself. And this time, your microphones won't be muted, your cameras won't look away, and your editors won't erase me from the screen. Because the world you use to control is slipping from your hands, and millions are now listening without your filters, without your lies. I'm 34 years old, and every day of my life I've lived under your media's shadow. As a child, I saw your version of Africa, always the same: children with flies, cracked lands, war, death. This is Africa, you told us, and we believed you. We were taught to be ashamed of our people, our skin, our stories. But I grew up, I questioned, I studied, and I discovered your lie. The Africa you sold us was never real. It was a scripted tragedy to justify your dominance, a caricature to excuse your control. You showed Africa as nothing more than hunger, disease, and terror, never as strength, resilience, or victory. Tell me, New York Times, Washington Post, Guardian, how many times did you make headlines out of Rwanda's tech revolution, Ethiopia's forest restoration, Botswana's democratic success, or Kenya's startup boom? Never, because that doesn't fit your narrative. A strong Africa has no place in your story. You need us broken so you can play savior. You need us behind so you can feel ahead. So let's talk numbers. Congo holds 70% of the world's cobalt. You can't power your phones, cars, or laptops without it. Yet Congolese children mine it and still live in poverty. South Africa has 90% of the world's platinum and still battles mass unemployment. Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Tanzania give you 30% of the world's gold, but we don't see that wealth. Africa provides 65% of the world's diamonds, Botswana, Angola, Congo, Sierra Leone, yet our miners work for $1 a day. We own 35% of the world's uranium, Niger, Namibia, South Africa. Your cities shine while our villages remain in the dark. And still you ask, why is Africa poor? No. Ask instead, how did we keep Africa poor despite its richness? The truth is, colonialism didn't end, it evolved. You traded flags for corporations, guns for contracts, whips for credit. You used to conquer with armies. Now you exploit through deals. Companies like Glencore, a Swiss mining giant, extract cobalt from Congo under armed guard in 2022, while locals go without schools, clean water, or hope. But you'll never write that story. And that silence, that is the cost we pay every day. But not anymore. Imagine this, $256 billion in revenue, but only $500 million in taxes paid to Congo. That's just 0.2%. Is that justice? Rio Tinto, the British-Australian giant, extracts 20 million tons of bauxite every year from Guinea. What's left behind? Not prosperity, just pollution, cancer, and broken lands. Total Energies, the French oil empire, profits $36 billion in 2022 from Angola, Nigeria, and Congo, while Africa receives leaking pipelines and poisoned waters in return. Anglo-American, born in South Africa but now hiding in London, drains us of diamonds, platinum, and iron, yet leaves 6 million South African miners jobless. And these are just the names you know. What about the hidden ones? The invisible mechanisms, the offshore accounts, the secret deals, the tax-dodging schemes? $88 billion, yes, billion, leaves Africa illegally every year, yet all you report is the $4 billion in aid coming in. But here's the truth. Africa isn't receiving aid, it's giving it. While your cameras zoom in on our hungry children, they miss the caravans of gold, oil, uranium, and diamonds quietly shipped to your vaults. Here's how the system works. First, you create corruption. Bribe our leaders. Open Swiss accounts. Promise elite schools for their children. Second, make sweetheart deals. Take 50 to 99-year mining rights. Demand tax breaks. Ignore labor and environmental laws. Third, seize the infrastructure, but only the routes that take minerals to your ships. Never build roads to our villages or lights in our classrooms. Fourth, provide security. Train private mercenaries. Crush protests. Label truth-tellers as threats. Fifth, silence the media. Buy out journalists. Feed unrest to your global outlets as proof that we're unstable. This is the neocolonial machine, running smoothly for a century. And you refuse to see it, because you're in on it. Who funds your media? Who advertises in New York Times, CNN, BBC? Oil barons, mining tycoons, arms dealers, pharma giants, the very corporations robbing us. You live off their money. You speak their language. And I may be risking my life by saying this, but I will no longer stay silent. France still controls 14 African countries through the CFA franc, a colonial currency. Half our reserves sit in the French treasury, and we even pay negative interest to use our own money. This system sucks $500 billion annually from us, yet when France tosses back 10 billion euros in aid, you sing its praises. Britain's system is cleaner on paper, but filthier in truth. London is the world's money laundering haven. Jersey, Guernsey, the Caymans, all used to hide what's stolen from us. America, AFRICOM, 46 military bases disguised as security, but in reality, watching, listening, and controlling our resources. They say it's for fighting terror, but it's our leaders, not terrorists, they surveil. And now China joins the game with win-win projects, building roads for 99-year leases, and handing out loans that drown us. Ask Sri Lanka, ask Zambia. And you still call yourselves free press? No, you're corporate press. Billionaires own your words. Bezos owns the Washington Post, Murdoch owns Fox, The Times, Wall Street Journal. Carlos Slim, Latin America's telecom king, owns the New York Times. Does that sound like independence to you? Your editors? Always Harvard, Yale, Oxford, always the same elite worldview, the same blind spots, the same colonial gaze. And your correspondents in Africa? They speak French, English, but not a word of Swahili, Hausa, or Yoruba. And yet they claim to tell our stories. You don't report Africa, you distort it.